Good morning, friends. This is your old girl, Melanie Rose, here to share your daily aspects. Today is Saturday, December 11, 2021. The sun in adventure-seeking Sagittarius brings us right up to the winter solstice, where it then makes ingress to Capricorn. Winter solstice, the shortest day and longest night of the year, is the point where autumn finally pivots to winter around the 20th, and we begin to welcome more sunlight into our days, even as they continue to grow colder. While the sun is still in Sag, the days grow shorter while our yearning for fresh discoveries increases. The moon begins in Pisces today, making ingress to Aries this afternoon. This represents another shift in the heart and home from mutable water vibes to cardinal fire, from exploring the temple of imagination to starting fires for fun. These signs are both playful, just in different ways. And the first quarter waxing gibbous phase of this moon calls on us to take action on the goals we have set and to keep our hearts, minds, and bodies focused on the prize of meeting them. Take action and focus. Okay, let's take a look at these planets and aspects before we get into the interpretations. I have prepared a legend of the symbols we'll be looking at today so that we can start with an idea what energies are at play. Forever at the top of our list is the sun. The sun represents our outer life. That is who we are when we step out the door, the person that people get to know when they first meet us, and also how we engage in our work, social, and civic spheres. After that, we have the moon, and the moon represents our inner life. That is more about our relationship with ourselves, our feelings, thoughts, and intuitions, and also how we engage in our domestic life, who's there with us, and where exactly that is. Venus represents love and money, or in other words, how do you relate to those people and things that you value the most? Pluto represents extremes, as in the extreme ends of the stories, death and rebirth, beginnings and endings, but also the very high highs and the very low lows of our emotions, our intuitions, and our experiences. Mercury is about the intellect, especially our day-to-day thoughts and communications, the plans that we make, and the running around that we do. Jupiter represents growth, positive expansion, good vibrations. Mars is your personal sense of initiative, that fire under your butt, that drive that gets you up to get going on whatever it is that your goals are. Neptune represents your relationship with humanity, and Chiron represents your healing. That's down here. As for aspect energies, today we have a few of them on the page. We have some sextile. Sextile is a positive energy. It indicates that the effects of these planets are cooperating with one another and therefore likely to generate some kind of good outcome. Square represents the potential for challenges. Conjunct tends to amplify the effects of both planets involved. Trine is a very positive, harmonious energy. And ingress is a sign of transition, as it represents a planetary body actually moving out of one sign and into the next one. Signs of mention on the page today, we have Sagittarius, Pisces, Aries, and down here Capricorn and Gemini. So, with all of that said, I have divided our aspects into two columns, one for each of our luminaries. The moon sheds light on our inner lives, and it sets the tone for our emotional experiences and domestic relations. The moon moves very quickly, creating many brief aspects that represent ambient energies that may produce moods and other internal experiences for us throughout the course of the day. The sun sheds light on our days, and I address the rest of the planets on this side because these aspects take longer and they have more of an impact on our actions and interactions out in the world. We start with the moon today very early on Central Standard Time at 6:52 a.m. The moon goes sextile with Venus. So we're happy at home with the ones we love. Our relationship skills are on point at this time, and this aspect lasts about 2 hours. Happy at home with loved ones. And then just a few minutes later at 6:56 a.m., the moon makes a sextile with Pluto. So I'm just going to point this out. Later this morning, Venus is going to make a conjunct with Pluto, and this is an indication that they're very close together because the moon makes the same kind of aspect with each of them just a few minutes apart. And I also just want to note that these are both 2-hour aspects, and they're mostly overlapping with one another. Moon sextile Pluto, we may be put in mind of some deeply buried memory, feeling, story, or desire at this time. Share it with someone you trust. Something good may come of it. This one's also 2 hours. Share deep feelings and desires. Since you're hanging out at home with your loved ones in a space where you feel comfortable and trusting, it's a good time to share. Then later in the morning at 9:33, sort of just about a half an hour after we've gotten clear of these other 2 aspects, the moon makes a square with Mercury. This indicates tension between the heart and the mind. We may feel like expressing something, but not really know how to, or perhaps we aren't sure if the timing is right. This aspect lasts 2 hours. Tension, heart, and mind. And then at 1:40 p.m., a void of course moon makes a trine with Mars. This aspect brings us in a feeling of being successful at life. We feel altogether charming and sexy and ready for action. Feeling successful, charming, and sexy. And how appropriate that the moon makes a trine with Mars when it becomes void of course, and then a few hours later at 3:46, the moon makes ingress to Aries. Aries is ruled by the planet Mars. So moon in Aries, cardinal fire themes, temper, impatience, and passion. It can feel like a matter of urgency to focus on our highest priority goals, but we can lose sight of the people around us. Excuse me. And we may have to be reminded to practice some empathy. This aspect takes about, well, it's not an aspect, it's a transit. It takes about 2.5 days. Urgency to act, intense focus, remember, empathy. So we don't become megalomaniacs in the course of 2 days. So the lunar energy signature today, with the exception of some sort of self-challenging energy in the late morning, this is a very positive day for relating and collaborating. Aries always lends a burst of enthusiasm to act, and that's appropriate for this moon phase as we focus on meeting some goals. As for the sun side of the page, nothing in the ongoing column for now. Isn't that interesting? We'll change it tomorrow. At 10:29 a.m., the Venus is going conjunct with the Pluto, because Venus is stationing to go retrograde next week. We're going to get this aspect twice this month. Once now while Venus is direct, and the second time on December 25th while Venus is in retrograde. So we have a lot to talk about here, but let's focus for now on Venus direct conjunct Pluto, which is also direct. So when it comes to Venus in aspect with Pluto, it always makes us feel more desiring of attention and affection. The conjunct energy of this aspect turns those desires up to 11. Not only are we more desiring, but we all find a way to be more magnetic and attractive at this time. The pull can be subtle, perhaps even subconscious. If we're partnered, this may bring some fun and sexy extremes into the bedroom. If we're looking for a partner or just a very good time, chances are you'll find someone good under this influence. It's a good thing right now to look at your natal Pluto placement, but many of us are going to be under the same influence. Since Pluto spends about 30 years in each sign, its effects cover more of a generation and not just an individual. The key to success during this aspect is to be open and genuinely giving of your love with no catches. Pluto doesn't do half-assery, and Venus expects full satisfaction. If you can't show up with all your love to give, it may be better to sit your ass at home and ride this one out. This aspect lasts 4 days, but expect it to be an ongoing theme since we're going to see it again on the flip side of Venus retrograde in a couple of weeks. 4 days. More love and attention, more attractive, give genuinely, genuine love. Okay, again, don't hold back. Don't make it about getting something. Don't make it a transactional sort of thing. We have to really be willing to just give our love under this aspect for a good outcome. Then at 1:24 this afternoon, Mercury makes a sextile with Jupiter. Now, Mercury and Jupiter always get us into making bigger and bigger plans for the future. And with the sextile aspect, those plans can actually be generative. That is to say that the expanded plans for your life that you articulate under this influence are likely to unfold with relatively few hiccups and in accordance with your vision or better. Jupiter brings about good fortune as well, so set some bold intentions. This aspect lasts about 2 days. Making bigger plans for future likely good outcomes. You don't have to do all the action, you just have to set the intention and start to make the plan. And then around the corner on the clock at 12:21 a.m. Sunday morning, the sun goes square to Neptune. This aspect can be extremely demotivating. Think, that sound like when the song is playing and it goes, right? So it can be a struggle to maintain positivity and enthusiasm, but it only lasts about a day. Struggle to be enthusiastic. And you can struggle to be enthusiastic, or, you can just know that you have that enthusiasm in your heart, and, it will come out and show itself again, when you're able to do that. No big deal. It doesn't mean that anything is ruined. It's just a challenge to feel motivated. Next week is going to be a more active week than this one. Mars enters Sagittarius on Monday and Mercury enters Capricorn the same day. A full moon on Gemini next Saturday, and Venus is stationing to go retrograde next Sunday, the same day that Chiron will go direct. So we are going to go through some changes over the next couple of weeks, friends. And we will talk about these things and more as they come up. That's it for today. This has been your Daily Aspects, an astrological weather forecast for Saturday, December 11, 2021. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. And if you haven't already, please like my video and subscribe to the Old Girl channel. I will leave this up here for a little bit longer so that you may have time to look it over. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. My name is Melanie Rose, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for more Daily Aspects.